Stream's up and live. Feel free to join when you can. And I believe anything you say should go through. Just a reminder, you'll need to have push to talk enabled to be able to speak in the channel.
Feels like the same day.
Yeah, you have to be on push to talk in the channel. That way there's not a bunch of background noise going on. Does everybody got the stream pulled up? Is it? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So. Okay, so can you hear me now? Okay, can you hear me on the stream now? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Cool.
Pokemon. And Pokemon is a role-playing game, came out in 1995, where basically you play as a trainer. You start off with a starting Pokemon, and then you battle through the game, catching Pokemon and defeating other trainers to eventually become the champion. It's very successful in both the games, spin-off games, and movies, TV series. Pretty much everything Pokemon has done at this point, and it would be very surprising if you were unaware of what Pokemon is currently. And what are shiny Pokemon? Shiny Pokemon have a 1 in 8,000 chance, and in recent games, 1 in 4,000 chance to, anytime you encounter a Pokemon, there's an odd that it is shiny. And shiny is just an alternate colored form from the original, and originally was introduced in the Generation 2 games. And here are some of the ones that I've caught with the encounters over them. Some of them take forever, some of them go quicker. So like Hydreigon in the top left took, from what I remember, it was about 1,500, but I wasn't counting the entire time. And yeah, some of them don't take too long, some of them take a very long time, even if the odds are high that you get them. And then like Decidueye in the bottom left, I don't actually remember how many it took, which leads to the main thing I want to tackle with this app is how do you keep track and how do you remember how many it took? Because for me, I don't always want to sit on my desktop to count how many encounters I get. Sometimes I want to lay in bed and play. And it's hard to keep two separate counts and then add them together. It'd be easier if you could just count in one place and remember everything. And how do you remember? Most of them I remember because I took screenshots of how many it took. But outside of that, I wouldn't remember how many unless you know, especially once you get to a certain point of catching too many, you're not going to remember all of them. You're just remembering arbitrary numbers. It's weird. So that's really the purpose of this app, is to give users the abilities to keep track anywhere they might be. So especially since the Nintendo Switch, which is the newest console and where the newest generation of games is a handheld console. Most people will play it on car rides or in bed or elsewhere. So having the ability to keep the Switch and your phone on you to keep track is really the goal of this application, because it is the 21st century and people pretty much always have their phones on them. There are similar apps, for instance Poketch, which is a shiny counter. I haven't personally used it, but it is the closest to what I'm going for here. And then this one, or Pokemon Shiny Tracker, this is the one that I primarily use because I'm primarily on my computer, so it's easier to keep track in the browser, but it's the certain times when you want to lay in bed or go somewhere else and still play that you can't keep track. So the key features of this is looking through the Pokedex, being able to add Pokemon that are in the Pokedex, and those are loaded from an API. Add Pokemon to a currently hunting list, and once they're on the currently hunting list, you can click on them and then add encounters every time you encounter them. And then once you're finished, you can mark them as completed, and those will be in a completed list. And there's my proposal, so let's show the app now. And let's open it up. And initially when you launch it, the Pokedex shows up. There's a nice toast showing that it's loading the Pokedex. And then you can scroll through to find the Pokemon that you want. These are in Pokedex order, which makes it easier to find. Currently it's only the first 151 Pokemon, and in the future I'd kind of like to expand on that. But let's start with Pikachu, since Pikachu is very popular. So once you find the Pokemon that you want, you can click Currently Hunting, and they will be added to the hunting list. And then immediately you can start adding encounters as you catch more of them. And then once you decide to close the app, when you reopen it, they will be in the hunting list. And then you can keep keeping track until you completed it, and then it will be in the completed list, which is really like the nicest thing. So anytime you pull it up, you can remember how many encounters it took for Pikachu. And say for instance you accidentally hit completed, it is a possibility. You can always remove it from the completed list. It will then reappear in the hunting list, and you can continue adding encounters, because once it's completed, the controls are locked. You can no longer add encounters. Yeah, it's nice because you can add multiple Pokemon. You don't have to only hunt for one. That's really the biggest drawback with some of the other places I've used where you can only really keep track of one Pokemon at a time, and sometimes you get bored of one of them and you want to start on another. So if you're got bored of Charmander, you could then swap to something else and everything would be remembered. So yeah, that's all. Actually, real quick, you can also, for instance, if you wanted to stop, you can just turn that off and then it'll be removed from the list. So yeah, that's everything, and thank you for watching.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. If anybody's got questions and such, feel free to ask now.
I have a question. Is the counter for the is the counter stored locally or in a cloud database?
It's locally, so that way you can play even if you're disconnected from internet.
Okay, thanks.
By the way, welcome. Welcome to the last day of class. I meant to kind of give us some introduction before we started off, but got distracted with the audio issues. So sorry about that. But welcome to the last day of class, guys. How does that feel?
Gotta have a ceremony.
Huh? This is my wife, Tara, by the way, behind me.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
So she's joining in, watching your guys' presentations today.
Hardly recognize you without your mustache.
Yeah. A little bit of shaving. Yeah, she said a little bit of an experiment. So how's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Well,
I haven't-
I've been stalling for as long as I can to not have to use a mask so I can keep my beard, but I have to pick up some medicine in town today, so that might be the end of it for me.
Aww.
I just shaved my beard last night.
shaved in 2 months. It's looking pretty scraggly.
I'm about to have to encounter humans again, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear a few people are starting to go back into the office and whatnot. There's rumors that maybe Sam Page might open things up in St. Louis on, what was it, the 18th? 18th of May? So.
Yeah, that's the plan. Who knows when that second wave will hit?
Yeah. Coolio. So, yeah, let's get on with the next one. I think, let's see, Dalton's next. Yep. So let's go with that.
Okay, hello classmates. This is Dalton Nichols. Welcome to my presentation. So I'll just jump right into it. My app
Prepare to
is
be
called
exhilarated.
Movie Voyager.
You said what?
Said prepare to be exhilarated.
Oh, man.
So background, right into it. My app is called Movie Voyager. Movie Voyager is an app that will allow you to look up basically any movie you can think of and find information on that movie. So I was inspired to do this because I use StreamStation a lot for my movies. I don't watch much TV, but I watch a lot of movies, and StreamStation doesn't offer descriptions of the movies before you start watching them. So to decide if I really want to watch a movie, I'll go look them up on my phone on like IMDb or something to read it and see how the reviews are and stuff to see if I really want to watch it. So that kind of inspired the idea for this, because it's something that I would actually use. Movie Voyager uses the Movie Database API, which is like a third-party version of the IMDb API, but the IMDb API has no documentation. So this was just going to make more sense to use for this project, so that I had a better understanding of what I was doing. So the app will provide all key information about the movie. So it'll provide like the year, the title, description, the genre, and the reviews for that movie. So you can have everything there. Okay, so benefits. Movie Voyager keeps all of the information for that movie in one place. It also goes with the next bullet. So if you have the app, you know you don't have to go search Google all over the place to find information about a movie. You can just pull up the app on your phone and have all the information right there. The app is simple and intuitive. No extra promptings to get you to like rent it on Amazon Prime or anywhere else. It's just simply information about the movie. You can read what the movie is about, so the description of the movie and the basic information, along with seeing all of the reviews for that movie, all in one place. Similar applications. So one of the key differences is that IMDb and Plex offer ways to watch the movie. If you can see there in the IMDb image, like it shows watch on Prime Video. So it gives you like prompts to try to rent the movie, or if you're on Plex, same sort of deal. Or you may own the movie if it's on Plex. Movie Voyager is strictly informational. Both of the other options also go into detail about the cast and different things like that. They're kind of a lot of information, whereas Movie Voyager will just be the basic information about the movie itself. The other ones also offer reviews from other places besides their own databases of reviews, whereas mine just gets reviews from the one place. So key features. Being able to search for movies by multiple different filters. So you'll put in your title, and then you can also filter that down by putting in the release year, if you know the year. So that'll help you narrow down your search. So overall, you'll search on the main page, and then you will be able to get a narrowed list of search results of just things that matched. So viewing all the information from your selected result, you'll be able to search through the list of results and click on the one that you want, and that will show you all of the information about that movie. And you'll also be able to click on the reviews tab on that details page and see reviews for that movie. So my final proposal, I can show you that real quick. Hopefully. Okay, we'll just jump. I have it pulled up here, so we'll use this one. Okay, so there's my background and benefits. You got my color scheme, my similar apps, which I kind of already talked about, the search feature, and then it's all just my screen mockups for the different pages that I use to design the app. And so we can jump right into the demo of the app. So you can just come in here and say we want to look up Avengers. So you type in Avengers and you hit search. It's going to pull up all the Avenger movies, anything that matches that. So we'll just go with the first one. You get your basic information here, the title, the year, and a shortened version of the description. And when you click on the movie, you'll get title, year, poster, the full description, the rating, and then you'll also get reviews when you click on that tab. And a lot of the reviews for this one are really long, but I'll scroll down so you can see how they're kind of broken up here. It's not what I wanted. There you go. So they're kind of broken up like that. And then you can go back and say we just want to get the ones from 2019. Hit search. You'll just get Avengers Endgame. So that is it. Thank you for watching.
And here's where I need a clap track, but okay. Q&A, questions, well done.
Clap.
Good job.
Thanks, bro.
The color scheme is real slick.
Thank you. I like the dark.
Yeah, it makes me want to do that for mine now.
All right. So that is Dalton.
Good job, friendo.
Thanks, Pally.
Next up, we have Ben.
My name is Ben Womble, and this is going to be a overview of my project, Outcast Car Club. Oh, there we go. So, a little background. Outcast Car Club is just a group of enthusiasts who really just want to bring, more a more welcoming community to car meets and whatnot. Anybody's welcome to it. Anything from trucks to motorcycles and some even supercars. There's a couple in there. Outcast Car Club is a great way for members to. The app is a great way for members to just see what's been posted on the Outcast website that was created last semester. And this could include any type of new events and or members that have joined the group. So there's just a couple of apps, Meetup and Facebook groups are very similar. Facebook, don't really want to use that for everything because it can become kind of cluttered and members might not actually see all the new events that are coming up. And Meetup is actually, it drives the goal of getting you to go to as many meets as possible. Some key features, it's going to have an events tab that will let you see all of the events that have been posted on the Outcast website, along with the information such as the date, the location, and the description of what's going to be going on. All of the members will be posted with a picture of whatever they've posted as a profile picture, a biography, and their name, of course, and then both of these things will receive notifications when a new one is added to the website. So here's just a quick overview of the events. Like I said, it'll have a title, date, location, and description of the event. It will also allow users to search for the events if they do so choose to. And then members. The member page will display every user's name, username, vehicle, make, model, and year, a bio, and the profile picture. It will also allow users to search the members by name, very similar to the events tab. So just to show you guys, here is the Outcast website that it is pulling the information from, and the project overview here. Most of the first page there is going to be very similar to what was on the PowerPoint. Over here, very similar. This is just kind of a mock-up of how it was gonna look. You'll notice I did change my mind about the members page, and then here's just the color palette. Okay. And just to start showing off the app. So, now obviously the app has got a home page here, and the home page is scrollable, so smaller screens may not work the same. There we go. Yep. And yep. Cool. And then it is a tabbed activity, so let's check out the events. These are all the notifications all the events, sorry. And they are ordered by the date, so the event that is furthest out is the top one. And then we can search for one, so we'll go another. If I can type, we'll search that. There we go. And then if we want to clear our search, we can just empty it out and research. There we go. Now if we head on over to members, members is going to be every single member in the club. And we can search for these by name as well. So if we just enter a B, we'll get everybody who has a B in their name. And same things before, if we want to clear it, just empty it and search. And we can also click on these. If we click on the item, it'll actually take me to the page for that event on the website. Same as if we go to the members page and we click on somebody's name here, and use my own, it'll bring us to that person's page. Simple as that.
Hey everybody, Jeremy here. Talk to you about the
Oops, starting on with the next one. So congrats. That was Ben.
Woo! Ben, I feel like I made the same app as you.
Pretty good, Ben.
Pretty similar.
Good
Did
job.
you have
Yeah.
to write your own API, or did you?
I modified last year's project to just return JSON of all the members and the events.
So did you basically just use like the controllers you made for the website last semester and make the same request? That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, you can. So you can actually use the controller, and you can go to the. You can make a new one that's like I made get all members, and then you just have to return JSON and get the items from the database.
Really cool.
Yeah. So that's how both the events and the members are coming through. All right. Anything else?
Nope. Good job, Ben.
Good job. All right, Jeremy.
Hey everybody, Jeremy here. Talk to you about the application I made for my final project. It is called Get Together. It is a social media app. It connects like-minded people together. Background on this project: it's created for people who have hobbies and interests. It helps them connect with them to other people who have the same types of hobbies and interests. They'll be able to create groups and events. Sometimes, it can be hard to plan around friends and family schedules, or maybe there's just something you're interested in that nobody you know is really interested in, and you want to try it out. This gives you the opportunity to meet other people and kind of explore those hobbies and interests. The benefits, like I said, it will provide people a way to kind of venture outside of their comfort zone, maybe do something that they've seen in videos, wanted to try, just had an overall interest for it, and weren't able to do regularly. This app connects you with those people that also want to do those things. Of course, Meetup is going to be a similar type of application here. It's probably the most direct comparison. They have a very robust system, works very well. So some of my key functionality and features, of course, the search functionality is good. You'll be able to search for groups based on their name or based on their interest tags that they've kind of defined for themselves. This mockup displays kind of someone searching for the outdoor keyword and getting a list of groups in that vein. Of course, user profiles. Well, mine is a little more bare bones. Users will be able to kind of view their own profile that has a list of some basic information. They'll be able to see other people's kind of profiles as they're searching for groups. There will be a list there. You can click and view other people's profiles if you like. Of course, the core feature for this, kind of where everything revolves around, is the groups and events. You're able to create your own group. When you do create a group, you become the organizer for said group, and you'll be the one to make events for it. It's kind of the key organizer. You can view those groups, and this mock-up right here displays the form for it for both the events and the groups. So might as well jump in, kind of show a demo for what we got. So as you pull up the app here, you will be presented with a login screen. If you do not have a login, down here is a link you can click that will take you to a form. Of course, if you do not fill out all the fields, you will be provided with a toast. If you do say you take someone's username, you will also be presented with a toast, because usernames will be the key inside of the database. And I actually probably should mention, I am using Firebase for my database, broken down into 3 tables: events, groups, and users. That is my web API that I'm talking to for this particular project. You see a list of users here. You see a list of groups. The events are also going to be listed by the group name. So if we do provide a unique username, we will be able to access the app and get in. You can see database populates it right there. So after you do that, you'll be back to the login screen. You can use your new credentials, pop in, and then you're presented with your dashboard. Dashboard, you can do a few things to get around. This is probably the core way to do most of the components in the app. So you can view your own profile, which right now doesn't have much, just your interests, your groups. It will prompt you as you kind of come in to find groups. Go to the search. Like I said, you can search groups by name. So example of that. You can pop in here. You're able to join. You can see here are the members of this particular group, their interests, and a little bit of a description, as well as a button to join the group. That will update a couple things that will add groups to this particular user, and we'll add the member to this particular group. Okay, and once you've kind of done that, you will see that it kind of populates your group there. Any events that are upcoming will be shown down here, just kind of as what's coming next and then what's coming later. You can always pop in to kind of see that detail page if you want to RSVP for this particular event. Click there, your RSVP will be added. It will be added to, in the events table, of course, the attending kind of section right here for that particular event. So say this user I just created wants to create a group. That will take you here. Fill out the form. Fill out some particular tags. Save that group. Group's been created. Again, it'll be right here under your dashboard to kind of view. And then since this Dave, who is our user now, has made this group, he can add an event. No one else can, but he can. Date picker here. Once you save that event, it will be populated in the database. And the only thing that I kind of haven't added that I need to add soon is once you do create an event, it won't populate it. So as I've been kind of learning Firebase, I've run into a couple bugs on how to use it, but that is something that I can kind of add in the future. All right, kind of it in terms of what I did. So I guess we'll go to the Q&A next. Thanks.
Woo woo! That was Jeremy with Getting Together.
I think I said particular like 20 times in that video.
That was really good, man.
Yeah, it looks good, Jeremy. Yeah, that was good.
That was really good.
Did you have like a big learning curve trying to get back into Firebase or try to teach yourself Firebase?
I spent like an entire day kind of reading through the docs and then kind of putting it together. I do like it because it is pretty seamless. But near the end, like I was setting up these listeners and I realized, oh man, I should probably like not keep these open because they drain a lot of memory listening to the database all the time. So it definitely was a little bit of a learning curve, but I keep learning more about it and I really like it.
Yeah, you can basically, if you just hook up the listeners in the on-start method and unregister them in on-stop, that's basically all you got to do to cover your battery life issues.
That's a great idea. That's probably what I'll end up doing when I start to kind of like, I'll have more time to just kind of like look at it and fix up my project. But yeah.
No problem. Cool. All right, so Graham, you're up next with Vendor.
Hello world. My project is called Vendor. Vendor is a multi-channel selling platform to cross-list your products to many different marketplaces. So you upload one product and that goes out to those channels. The idea sparked from my friend who spent countless numbers of hours uploading products manually to each platform. The project is intended for vintage clothing sellers who upload their products manually to apps such as Poshmark, Depop, and Mercari Marketplace. Some of the benefits include cross-posting products all in one go without having to edit them all manually. You can save time uploading products and grant your customers with more leisure time. You want to be able to focus more on the important parts of your growing business rather than uploading those products manually. You can manage your inventory and see which products are uploaded to the channels. You'll notice an increase of sales and also customer outreach since you're communicating to all these different platforms. You'll notice an improved security of your account since the tokens are stored on the device rather online. Some of the differences between some of the similar applications, including Sellbrite and Channel Advisor. You'll notice Sellbrite and Channel Advisor are websites, so you can't access them on mobile. So that's one thing we do offer, is that mobility. And some of the platforms I included was Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. You can't find those on Sellbrite and Channel Advisor. You can get automatic suggestions for brands, sizes, and categories so you don't have to put them in manually. Some of the key features include connecting multiple channels to a particular platform. You can toggle channels on and off from uploading products. You can toggle them all on, or you can toggle them all off as well. Some of the product suggestions include size, category, and brand. You'll get those once the product is saved and ready to be uploaded. You have inventory management with the synchronized deleting of products across the platforms, and notifications and automatic removal of sold products. And I am now going to head over to my project proposal. So, as you can see, I have the similar applications and some design ideas, some mockups, and there you go. So to get started with Vendor, you'll be prompted with this screen. To add a channel, you just click this Add Channel button, and you'll see Depop, Poshmark, and Mercari. I'm going to connect some accounts here. And that added it here. I'm also going to add another one. And we'll add a Poshmark account as well. Now you'll notice Poshmark has a CAPTCHA to fill out. You just have to fill that out on login. So I'll do that here. Sometimes these can get a little annoying, but we'll see if that works. Yep. And we'll just click login. And that added your Poshmark account. I'm also going to add in Mercari as well. So you can see all your channels here. You can toggle them all on or off to disable the products from being uploaded to the apps. I'm just going to have Depop enabled for this instance. So once you've done that, you want to click this camera icon button, and it's going to ask you to take a photo or choose a gallery to create a product. I'm going to take a photo, and it's going to put it in this first slot here. Now you can also delete it if you want, and you can choose from your gallery as well. You can rearrange the order that the photos will be uploaded in. So now I'm going to enter in a title here. This is a title. This is a description. Enter a location. You just type in a location and it uses Google's API and pulls back the response. And it puts it here. Now I'm going to also enter in a category. You can choose menswear or womenswear. I'm going to choose menswear, tops, shirts, and polo shirt. And then I'll put it here. I'm going to enter in a size. Select medium and a brand. You can search by brand. And also add shipping. And that will show up right here. Now the next step is just to add a price. So we're just going to say 14 and click Save Listing. That will save the listing, and it's going to pull up the Depop suggestions for category, size, and brand. Now these are all of Depop's categories, so if the suggestion isn't correct, you can go in here and edit it if you want to be a Depop category. And you can kind of see that these are different. Menswear, tops, shirts, polo shirt. This is menswear, tops, polo shirts. So vendor automatically picks the category for you for Depop. So once you've done that, you've confirmed these are correct, you just want to click Post Listing. And that adds it to your Depop account. So let me go ahead and show you that you can view the product. It will show you the accounts that it's uploaded on. You can view it on the website. Like so. And it will show you the product details down here. You can also search for a product. Let me go ahead and add another one. We're going to take a photo. Let's add another one. Just going to put in some random data here. This time we'll pick another category. We'll pick another brand as well. So let's see if we can pick Levi. Yep. And we'll just pick 1, 2, 1, 2, add that to the shipping, put a price in, click Save Listing, and that puts it here. Looks right, click Post Listing, and so now we can search for that product, and we can also delete it as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.
Well done.
Nice, Graham.
Really fleshed out.
That
It
was
looks really.
great.
Thank you. Sorry, you'll notice like a tone in voice when I was going over my presentation and then going over my app because I recorded it at different times.
So we're using like like your API. Are you using like from each store? Like, are you pulling an API from them?
Yeah, so there's an API for Depop, Poshmark, and basically once they upload like a vendor product, all the data will be converted um, to upload on those apps, the Poshmark, Depop, and Mercari.
So you've got like 4 different APIs basically that you're targeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
One for
It
each.
was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of code.
One
I was
for.
gonna say.
Go for it.
It just looks really slick and like really well done. So like to have all that code and have it working just like that, pretty great.
Thanks.
Yeah, because you got one for each of the different marketplaces, and as well as the additional one that you created for the suggestions, I think.
Yep. Like the Python application, the Flask API, I had to create separately. I was thinking about using Firebase, but I wasn't sure how to exactly set that up.
I would think you could have done that on the app without having a 4th API for it.
Yeah, I could do that as well.
Because I assume you could do that on the device in Java. But all good.
Good job.
Thanks.
Alex, you're up next.
This is my final project, Freelance Art Hub. I decided to do this project because I have multiple friends that do freelance art for extra income. An app like this would make it easier for them to receive work. And this project is intended to be used by those that offer freelance art and by those wishing to hire freelance artists. The main benefits of this project is that it will improve the experience of artists by allowing other users to be able to find and hire them more easily. The key features of this project is that users will be able to set up a profile that displays information about themselves, including the services they offer and whether or not they're open for commissions. Users can also search for services and other users in order to find the right artist for what they need to commission. A similar site to this project is Fiverr. Both Fiverr and Freelance Art Hub is used to find and hire freelance artists. Fiverr is primarily used as a website. Freelance Art Hub, however, is mainly used as an application on a smartphone. The first mockup is a prototype of what the search results page would look like, while the second mockup is a prototype for what the profile page could look like. Here is a demo of Freelance Art Hub's search page. So when the user arrives at this page, they will enter a keyword such as 30 seconds, since for the sake of this prototype, I'm going to search for 30 seconds of voice acting. And then let's say I want something that is at most $5. So let's search for that. And then we get this, a 30-second voiceover service provided by @John Voice Acting. And the service category is voice acting, which is what we had selected. And the description of it is, I will provide 30 seconds of voice acting and that a script is required. And when I select order, it brings up whatever the default email app is for the device. In this case, it is Gmail, and it automatically pre-fills the subject and the recipient of the email, and then creates this body, which is I'm interested in purchasing the service, and then it'll list the name of whichever service the user picked that they want to purchase from.
Woo!
That's a really cool idea. I like the concept of that app.
That's really good, man.
Good job.
Might have
Good
to give me
job,
some
Alex.
freelance art, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And we're
Do you want to add like some sort of like rating system to the artists and stuff? Kind of how Fiverr.
Yeah, that would be a really cool feature.
So when you open up the mail app with an intent, I'm assuming, how do you like pass that like
Hey guys,
data to have it
my
automatically
name is
drop
Eston
email?
Sorry, my goof.
You can. I used URI dot parse, and I could add query parameters to it, so it'll be like question mark sub subject, and it would fill in the subject, and it could do the same with body. And you can also use URI.encode, and it'll automatically put in the character codes for spaces where it's needed.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
We see who's next.
That's
Just for warning, guys, I'm not perfect.
you dressed up.
Nobody is
There you go.
friendo.
Headphone warning, this one's a little bit loud.
Earbuds.
All right, I think we're good to go. Eston.
Hey guys, my name is Eston Kirby. I'm a student at Rankin Technical College. Here I have my app called the Pickup app that I created. Before I go into about my app, I just want to say hello to all my students and teachers. It's not the way we wanted to end this semester, but it's finally here. I want to say congratulations to all the students. You guys work so hard, especially the ones in my class. You guys work so hard. Hope you guys do well in your endeavors. So let's get into the app. Background of the app. It's a grocery store app. It's useful for someone who is not able to leave their house or someone who doesn't want to leave their house. That's okay. We have people like that. It's fine. I came up with this app is because I worked at DoorDash for a little bit. It was a fun experience. What I really took away from it though was that the app itself. I was wondering, is there an app like this for people who wants to get their groceries delivered to them? And another reason was the pandemic. We're going through this. This is a perfect app for people who are not able to leave their homes or people who don't want to leave their home due to the pandemic. So this is another great app to use. Benefits of the app. It's easy to navigate. Items are purchased from their home. Items are delivered to their home. So again, those are some of the benefits of the app here. App comparison. So I did find out there was an app just like this. And it was called Instacart, where you have your groceries delivered to your home. I don't know how many of you guys use Instacart, but it's a great app. It's a use. It's nice and lovely. So some of the similarities we had was you select the store, you select items, you view your items, add your items from different stores, and you move your items. Some of the differences was that Instacart had a login screen. You can use coupons, also a search feature. My app was that I can remove all the items all at once. So that's a little bit of differences between my app and Instacart. Instacart is a very refined app, so it's a very nice app, of course. So, but that was some of the differences we had. Uh, Key features. You select the store, select the items, view items, remove the items, remove all the items at once. And those Um, you can view the items in the cart, you remove the items in the cart, and you remove all the items all at once in your cart. So, in looking at my screen mock-ups here, that's kind of what I wanted my app to look like here. So, yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind when thinking about the app. And that's my proposal. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description to it if you want to go ahead and check that out. But right now, let's go look at the app. So here I have my pickup app. Going right now, looking at all these Shop and Save, Target, those a little bit of the stores. I'm showing you a little bit of the items I have in here that we have. We're in Walmart right now. I'm going to show you first feature. If you try to add an item to the cart with no quantity, it's going to tell you please enter a quantity. So let's go ahead and add a quantity in there. Add 2 apples. Add it to the cart. It's going to let you know items has been added to the cart. Let's go ahead and do it again. Do it for Doritos. 2 bags of Doritos. Let's go and get it. There you go. You see the remove button there. So if you want to remove an item, you just go ahead and click that. It's going to let you know, hey, app has been removed. Doritos has been removed. So I'm going to show you next a feature where if you want to remove all your items at once, if you just don't want to just click the remove button, that's fine as well. We're going to add those items again back to the cart. I'm going to add another item here, pineapple juice. So 3 items in our cart now. So we hit the little trash can button up in the right-hand corner there. Remove all the items to let you know all items has been deleted. So we're just going to add some more items. So let's add an item here from Walmart. A few more items here. Again, add Doritos, pineapple juice. And then let's go to Aldi. Let's add items from there. So add some ground beef. So still all your items are in there from that cart from Walmart and Aldi. So let's go to the checkout here. So we try to place an order. It's going to let you know, hey, all the fields are empty. You had to put in that, so you can't just place an order with no fields in there. So let's put some, let's fill our fields up. Let's go ahead and put some dummy data in there. Of course, put my name, a little bit of my name there. 123 Street First Drive. There's a little bit of dummy data. This is not my actual street address, so please do not look me up by this. And that's not my actual phone number, so please don't call that number. Put in the city for city. Go ahead, go back to state here. Put in Missouri for the state, and then we just go ahead and put in the zip code 12345 there, and then we put in the card number. So this is not my actual card information, so please do not go ahead and try to use this card information because it's not real. It's a little bit just dummy data. Put in the expiration date. We have 0321, and we put in the CVV number. Yeah, 111. We're done. Place the order. The order has been placed. So that's a little bit of my app there. That was the app that I created. It was fun doing this. It was very interesting, doing this and taking what I had done in this semester and to try to be able to create something like that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And you guys have a great day.
All right, that's what I've got there. Well done, Eston.
Gotta like and subscribe to that channel, baby. I like that idea. Now that you made a customer app, you got to make a shopper app.
Yeah.
Definitely in the works.
Road to 1,000 subscribers.
All right. So I have a midnight entry into the playlist. Very much last minute. Just saying.
I mean,
How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Evan, and today I am presenting to you Pocket, which is the mobile resource for your Agile environment. So some background information right off the bat. Going into the semester, I knew we'd likely have a situation towards the end for our final where we'd be able to, kind of select what we wanted to work on within, of course, given parameters, and build something that mattered to us, essentially. And knowing that, I wanted to challenge myself with a project that was slightly beyond my scope and perhaps the scope of the class. And I think I did that. In its current state, my project is small in scope compared to the possibilities of the end product, which is something that I really wanted to focus on as well. Something that could be expanded upon, something that could be constantly worked on, and something that realistically, with enough time and enough effort and enough passion, could be something that could be deployed to a real Google Play Store perhaps, or actually be used by users who find its service very relevant and necessary. And this project Pocket is a mobile hub connecting all of your various online repository services. And when I say it's small in scope in its current state compared to the possibilities, right now it is only connecting your GitHub accounts. But the end product, the end goal, of course, is to have it being a mobile hub, meaning that you're able to connect GitHub, Bitbucket, SourceForge, GitLabs, whatever have you, and really truly connect all of these various online repository services. So of course there is a ton of benefit and business need for this product. First off, with any mobile application, having the versatility of a mobile option for on-the-go needs that's quick and lightweight is absolutely necessary and needed in the software development lifecycle. And having that ability to access from anywhere the information that's pertaining directly to your project, directly to your Agile team, your Scrum team, whatever it is absolutely invaluable. Pocket provides a lightweight option to access the information you need, allowing for a constant stream of information. And what I mean by that is that if you have multiple GitHub accounts, you don't need to log in, log out, log in to see what's going on in one of your repositories, log back out, go into Bitbucket and check that one. Pocket provides a lightweight option that caches your data via the room database systems so that you can, whether you're online or offline, see the information that's cached that's directly pertaining to your current Agile environment, your development team. Right now, as I stated earlier, it's only linking your GitHub accounts. But of course, the goal is to link multiple services later. So the first kind of roadblock that I hit was the fact that GitHub literally early March, 2 months ago, released their own online application, or their own application in the iOS App Store and the Google Play Store. And it functions as you would probably expect, kind of providing a similar, if not replicated, functionality that the website service currently has. So I could have taken that and realized that, maybe this isn't a business need any longer because GitHub's kind of taking that market. But you realize that because the end goal of Pocket is to have a mobile hub that connects all online repository services, you realize that this singular GitHub application does not support linking multiple GitHub accounts for one, and it does not support linking services such as Bitbucket, GitLab, and your SourceForge and any other service that may be out there. And the end goal of Pocket is to do that. So there are two really key critical features that make Pocket what it is, and that is, for one, the OAuth linking account feature. And of course, right now we're using GitHub's OAuth through their GitHub API. I think it's version 3 if you guys want to see the specifics behind that. But it's a very simple process from the user side. You can see the mock-up on the left. Users will click the floating action button on the bottom right, and it'll take them to the screen that you see on the right side, which is where you'll essentially sign into GitHub. And that GitHub sign-in process sends a code back to the activity where the user sees, and which will then link their account. It's very simple from the user point of view. Obviously, the backend is a little bit more complicated, but from the user side of things, it's as simple as clicking the plus button in the bottom right, signing into GitHub, and then you're done. That account's linked forever. That account data is stored and cached in the room database, and they can unlink right away. They can go in to see their repository details. As simple as that. It's essentially 2 clicks of a button and 2 text fields that users have to do to get their GitHub account linked to Pocket. From here, if users are to click on one of their account names or one of their accounts that's in the view right here, as you guys can see, it brings us to our second key feature, our second critical feature, and that's just viewing and searching information, which is absolutely huge. And they can do this from whether they're online or offline. Of course, they can click the bottom right button on either of the two screens that you see below to refresh. And that, of course, needs an online connection, and it needs a Wi-Fi or data connection to be able to refresh the feed. That it makes an API request that gets, of course, this information back and stores it and caches it. But where the offline feature comes in is the cache data and the room databases that are hosted on each device. All the repositories that you see on the left screen are stored in a database on the user's device, and all the commits that you see on the right side are stored in a database in a user's device. So all that data can be accessed from anywhere, whether or not they have that information, or whether or not they have that Wi-Fi connection or data connection, whatever have you. Users can always access this information, which of course is very important because information is key, especially as users are in an agile environment on a software development team and constantly making changes, constantly pushing things, to have the ability to have this data, whether or not you're online or offline, or at your desktop or on your Android device. Having this information in front of you is absolutely invaluable. So to wrap things up, here is the link to the project proposal and, of course, the GitHub repository as well. I'm going to actually take a look at the project proposal just to give you guys an idea of the inspiration behind this Pocket application. So the project proposal is pretty straightforward. A lot of the information that's in this proposal was also reflected on the presentation, but I do think it does a good job of demonstrating the thought process that I had as I was kind of conceiving and developing this application. One other thing that, of course, is in this proposal is another similar application. Again, though, similar to the GitHub application, it doesn't actually link any other repository service, which is really the key component of what Pocket is able to do, or will be able to do. Of course, this application also only allows you to have one GitHub account linked at the same time, which is yet another thing that Pocket kind of fixes for you. You can have multiple accounts of any type linked at the same time. A color palette is pretty straightforward, a nice crisp blue and a great accent color of orange. Key features are pretty much described in the presentation as well, and I'm not going to quite go over the workflow in this as well either, because we're going to go over that in the actual emulator demonstration of the application. But this proposal is here for you to see if you guys would like to take a deeper look at the thought process behind this application. So let's actually run the application, and I'm going to try to zoom this in the video editing software, so I hope you guys can actually see everything that's kind of going on here. But this is the home screen. It's very similar, if not the same exact replicated screen from the mock-up. But we have this floating action button, which is exactly where the application workflow begins. You're going to click this button, and I'm going to link in my GitHub account. It's going to take me to the GitHub screen, or it's going to take me to, it uses an explicit intent to take me to my default browser, which is Chrome in this case. And I'm going to log into my GitHub account. Hopefully you guys don't see the actual password. That would be very unfortunate. But I'm going to sign in, and it's going to send me back to the application, which is huge. And you can see that right away, one, this is my GitHub picture on the account. So it's grabbing that from the GitHub API. It's grabbing my name and my username. And I have the ability to unlink directly from the screen, which is huge. But from here, I can click on this, and it's going to take me to this repositories screen. And the big thing about this is that some of these repositories are not owned by myself. Of course, these top three are. I have mine. That this is a web development project I did. This is a test account. This is another web development project I did. But then there are a couple more that are not owned by me, which means that the GitHub API, when I link my account, is allowing me to get the information from repositories that I am only a contributor on, which is absolutely huge. And that's only possible because of that first key feature we talked about, which was OAuth, signing in via OAuth or linking your account via OAuth. that sends an access token back to my application that I can use on a per user basis to get this kind of specific information that I wouldn't be able to otherwise. But moving towards the next screen, if we click on one of those repositories, we're going to be sent to the repository details activity, which is kind of where the bread and butter of the application is. From here, in this project specifically, there are only 2 contributors, myself and my buddy Jake. But you can see all of our commits here, and the next really big piece of functionality here is just being able to search those commits. And we're searching not through the API, but through our cached data that's in our room database, just to simplify the search and allow users to be able to do this while also offline. And we have to remember, though, that if they want an updated search, an updated list of commits, all they have to do is click this bottom right button, and that sends the API, and if there are any new commits, it adds into the room database, and users will be able to see them right in their recycler view because of the observer that we set up on the live data object of the commits list in the repository details activity. That's why we search with only the cache data in the database. It's really about having that offline functionality. But if I wanted to search for, let's say, only the commits that I am the author of, oh, I hit the wrong button. Only the commits that I'm the author of, hit search, close the keyboard, and that's where we're at right now. I get all the commits that I'm the author of, and then I can go ahead and delete that as well. And we get the previous list, the list that we actually want. That's actually, the full list. Another thing I can search by is, the message name, the message of the commit. And I can type something as simple as, initial commit search. And we have that first message. I guess there are 2 initial commits in this repository. Fantastic. But that's kind of the gist of it. It's very easy to, add search functionality with an API and just add a couple query parameters. But I made the calculated decision to do it with the cached data in the room database so that users could have that extra bit of functionality, an extra bit of usability for their on-the-go needs. Finally, I want to talk about unlinking an account, and it really is as simple as you would expect. Back on the main activity, we have this unlink account button that's associated with each account that's in this room database. And I can legitimately just hit the unlink button, and if I hit no, of course, it's going to not do anything. But if I hit yes, it's going to unlink the account. And what that's going to do, it's going to remove all the cached data in the commits database that's associated with, or commits table that's associated with that account. It's going to remove all the associated repositories in the repos database that's associated with that account. And it's also, of course, going to delete the account from the account database. But if I ever do that, if I don't want to do that, if I made a mistake doing that, I can literally just relink the account. And because in this specific case, Chrome has my GitHub credentials stored in a cookie on their site, I didn't even have to log in again. It automatically logged me in because it knew my credentials. But that's essentially the gist of Pocket. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I would be happy to answer. I think I demonstrated.
All right. That was all of the presentations that I have for today.
Good job, Evan. That was really dope. Really slick.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, Yvonne.
This is
Thanks.
nice work.
Great job, Evan, man.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was a real bummer to see that GitHub came out with that application like 2 months ago.
Well, again, I mean, I wouldn't say that's a killer one way or the other, because the reality is GitHub's only ever going to support GitHub, and there's enough developers that are on more than one, using more than one tool for their version control and management and things.
Always do something like I did and add more than just GitHub in there. You could add Bitbucket or something.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Right. Bug trackers as well. Oftentimes people will even if their code is on GitHub, they might use a different bug tracker. Trello or whatever, Bugzilla and other things.